talk. Shut the fuck up!
The Richmond scene is one of the worst. Like, Richmond's really trendy. It's all who you know, and I don't know. Like, if you're not the popular pop punk band of the time or the hardcore band, then it's pretty much your friends coming out and that's it.
It's a really, really diverse scene with a lot of quality bands and a few bad bands too.
There's energy, number one. There's always going to be pissed off kids that want to, it's sort of rebellious, the whole rebellion energy thing, and there's always going to be, especially teenagers that are into that.
I mean, VCU's buying, like a mile of rundown inner city and, totally razing it to the ground and then rebuilding McVCU Walmart style bookstores and that kind of thing. The kind of punk rock, cruddy combat zone area that has thrived down here is going to eventually get pushed out and pushed down as VCU buys up the whole area. So, I mean, it sucks, but I mean, you gotta know it's going to happen. There's going to be an increased police presence down here. VCU's trying to
for mommy and daddy, basically.
VCU's trying to make everything look nice down in this neck of the woods, and that's just the way it's going to be.
Some bands don't understand that, I can't book them if nobody knows who they are, if they're starting out, and sometimes I ask them to play house shows, build up a following before, they play here, because, I'll end up losing money. Nobody will be here. That upsets some kids, so they like to talk shit. I'll be right back.
It's not really about making money tonight, it's about supporting the scene. And I look at some of the other clubs around town that won't book bands if they don't think it's going to draw. It irritates me because everybody has to start somewhere, and if you don't have a venue that books those shows, then nobody's ever going to be able to break out.
I mean, I've seen Jerry, who's the manager, lie to bands to their face about why they couldn't play or why the show hasn't gone on. So in that aspect, no, I don't think it's pretty fair to the bands.
What's up, ladies?
I mean, I understand, like, sometimes you can't give the band some money because you don't have attendance, but yeah, I think it's overall a bad place.
I can't really worry too much about what other people say. I just, I just stay focused on, doing the best I can and doing what's best for Twisters and trying to keep it real. Just trying to do, bands that really do matter, that do mean something.
It's okay. I mean, as far as, the clubs that are in Richmond, it's probably one of the better ones just because they get decent shows.
Twisters is a fun place to play. I like playing there. Jerry usually treats you well. I mean, don't expect too much money, but have fun, and it's local, so you know.
And a lot of people do go to Twisters.
Generally, you'll get a good sound, and if you want to play a show and if you want to have people there, it's a good place to do it.
I mean, I really don't know the breakdown there, but I mean, I know to run a club and a PA and a sound guy and security and a door guy and all that shit. It costs money.
Yeah.
And I mean, you definitely get all that when you play there, But for local bands, usually you don't need a bunch of that shit, so.
Normally, on all ages shows, I do a 50-50 door split. Late shows, 18 and up, because our bar does a little bit better. It's usually an older crowd. I'm able to do 70-30.
He only wants us to play the late night shows, and we want to play the all ages shows. And he wants us, but he's like, oh, the kids, they won't like you. One kid doesn't like you, they won't like you. I'm like, well, dude, I think they're gonna like us, so why don't you just let us play? He's like, oh. And then it comes out later that really it's because he wants us to play the late show, because people drink and you can make more money.
If they're about supporting the scene, they need to understand that the venue needs to, cover its costs as well to put the show on. My hard expenses, for instance, I have to pay a sound man, and I have to pay a doorman, I have to pay a door tax in some cases, I have to pay BMI, CSAC, ASCAP, licensing fees to do shows, to do live music. So, I think most of the local bands understand that and are willing to, work with me.
I'd say that Jerry Bird does the best job getting bands in locally now.
I don't know. That place could be really, really cool. It is moderately cool now, like I said, because it brings in a lot of touring bands.
I think people support bands. It's just
There's so many of them.
it's real cliquish, and there's actually not as many people here as people think that Richmond's a really big city, but it's actually a real big town, or a small city actually. It's a small city. I mean, there's just not really that many people here
It is real
to go out, to like support a show.
Actually, most everybody that plays here or is in the music scene, I think respects the place. In turn, I hope they respect me, because I try to treat them as good as I can.
The bar Shockoe Bottom goes, Swingers is the only bar that, if they're having a band, it's a rock band, and they treat you right there, man. They've done well. They're doing a good job in beefing up their sound system. They just added 6,000 watts or some shit like that.
Who knows? In a place that's, that.
I mean, they're talking about knocking down the wall to make the room bigger so they can build the stage up and taller and bigger and wider and have bigger crowds and get regionals and nationals in there and make it a reputable venue. I mean, right now it's very good for the local scene. It's very good for out-of-town bands that nobody's heard of.
Then again, if you play during the week and you're unheard of, you're fucked.
No one likes to go, but no one likes to go down there. People don't show up to our shows there.
Right.
Maybe we just thought maybe it's maybe.
It's one of those places where they're like, oh, the band upstairs,
We just doubled our PA, and we're working on tearing down the wall upstairs, and we're putting central air in, and we have, a nice space. And I mean, hopefully within a year, when we have the budget to get the room where we want, it'll be the nicest venue in town.
I didn't really go there a whole lot. I understand. I was talking to him recently. He said they got a brand new sound system in there that sounds really good. So I haven't had a chance to go down and check it out lately. But overall, I think Swingers gets the thumbs up.
Deep in your steel, this world sits a hand in hand. The things I was doing to you, giving your body, every single part down, in the tears of the
I just think it's kind of sad that Hole in the Wall, in my mind, is one of the best places to play in Richmond. It's very small, you know, it's a cool place.
Well, they let us set up shows there pretty much whenever we want. We don't charge for the shows there typically, unless it's out of town band, in which case we give them the money for gas.
I like playing Hole in the Wall a lot too. That's a real fun place to play. They treat you right, also, and I don't know, man. It's a small place, but you know, a lot of cool people hang there. A lot of the people that you would want to hang with go there a lot. I mean, it's a good place to be.
I think it's more like a party atmosphere at the Hole in the Wall, where you can just, you know, if you suck, you're gonna suck at the Hole in the Wall. There's no tricks. There's, you know, it's a vocal PA and your band. So I think it's a pretty honest way to see a band.
If you can play at a place where it's just your amps and it's just the drums and it's just the guy singing through a little tiny PA, and you can entertain people by doing that, then you're doing it right.
This town has like
it's a million
hundreds of bands, and you know, a lot of cities have a few bands, but
yeah, but the kids out of town usually are a lot more excited about music coming through than Richmond kids.
We have some good fans, actually.
Not everybody's gonna love you though. Richmond
That's right.
support is like a bra on boobs, and after a while it wears out. No, after a while the nipple pokes through. No.
And you got people in the fan, and you got people near VCU, you got people downtown, and that's about your market right there. And they're supportive, man. The people that do go out are cool, and they're fun, and they like it, and they have a good time, and they're in for the long haul, man.
Not enough of them.
There's just not enough of them, man. For a town, for a city this size, for a metropolitan area this size, Richmond's kind of a pussy fucking town.
Please for coming.